What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to go over the Nokia last evolution for Red. We are focusing heavily on pretty much playing a movie deck. It's a lot of fun being able to play some gimmicky strategies that are just straight up from the Tamer's idealism and just helping out with a small support engine. So guys, hopefully you enjoy the video. So first off, let's go over Nokia. Nokia is a very interesting tamer. It allows us to play an Agumon when on-played. So we're hopefully going to get one of our decent Agumons live and ready. Then when digivolving one of our Digimon into a card in our hand with Greymon, Garurumon, or Omnimon in its name, it may suspend this tamer to reduce the memory cost by 1. Being able to reduce the memory cost by 1 is crazy strong. Being able to digivolve our Greymons by 1 on a Agumon that's out on the field is really good for us because we can climb up and then just force our opponent into bad plays. So let's go over it. We also play this Tai Kamiya. So your turn, when your Digimon, Agumon, or Greymon in its name move from breeding area to battle area, gain 1 memory, triggering draw 1. So being able to gain 1 memory and draw 1. So if they're choking us out, we gain the memory up. So let's say they gave us 2, we're at 3, allowing us to play even further, allowing Nokia to spam out, play free champions and stuff like that. So that's what we want. And then once per turn, you can digivolve one of your Agumon into a Bonds of Courage in your hand by paying its Digievolution cost, ignoring its level requirements. If you do, trash the top 2 cards of your security stack. Then, if you have 1 or more security, delete that Digimon at the end of turn. Which is okay. We're hopefully not going to use this as much. We won't rely on it too crazily because we're red and we're a little bit slower as is, but we like to clear out massive security stacks anyway. So we're also playing the tie. So if you have 2 or less memory, set your memory to 3. And all your red Digimon with 4 or more Digievolution cards gain security plus 1. Being able to have that extra security plus 1 could be a game finisher, especially when we're using Bonds of Bravery, aka Bonds of Courage. I don't understand why they're using Bonds of Bravery. For some reason they changed the name. But when attacking, if you have a tamer, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. That's important, boys and girls. Being able to delete anything with 13,000 or less, that means if they're not on an Omnimon, you're blowing it up. And once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon are deleted, trash one of your cards from the top of your opponent's security stack. Being able to blow up something and just have Bonds of Bravery, not even have to swing, takes out 2 security, boom, 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 boom. Just clearing out multiple securities is crazy, especially if we give it Tai or even the Greymon. That's 4 securities for no real heavy investments. So definitely keep an eye out for this deck. It could see your local play. Then we have the red memory boost. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 red Digimon among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Then place this card into your battle area. Delay gain 2 memory. I like having that gain 2 memory, especially when they're choking you out. We don't see the tie. At least we can use the memory booster to go from our ultimate into a mega without passing turn, especially with this mega we have, and that is our War Greymon. Next, let's talk about the babies, and we'll go up through there. So Koromon is in here, so if this Digimon's name contains Greymon or Omnimon, trigger draw 1. Especially since our Greymons and our ultimates are Greymons and our megas are Greymons, we'll get this effect going off. And we do play Alter S to allow us to even help draw even further. Next, Demi-Maramon's in here, so when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. We love that. Giving that little extra boost could mean a lot, but we need the draw in this deck. We don't draw like blue does because we don't have the Gabumons that have a on-play draw. We only have searchers, and they're not always the best if you don't get that draw sometimes. Agumon is reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Greymon in its name and 1 Digimon with Omnimon in its name among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck. So if we have a high probability of hitting the Greymon targets, the Omnimon, not so much, but if we do, it's a plus. Then we do have this Agumon that gives 1000 DP. This Agumon's really good, so all turns once per turn when you play a tamer with Tai Kamiya in its name, gain 1 memory. While this Digimon is Agumon Bonds of Courage, this Digimon gains security +1. So it still allows us to gain 3 security checks on our opponent because we'll be deleting something with Bonds of Courage. So it really does help out. Or aka Bonds of Bravery, whatever you want to call it at this point. Agumon is when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Really nice skill, giving that extra boost that we kind of need when we swing into stuff, especially with our War Greymon over here. He is 11k. We need him to hit over 17 because shutting off options is fine, but when he starts hitting into things that are bigger than it, we don't want to lose him right away. Next, we do have the Greymon. So when Digivolving, this Digimon has Agumon and its Digi-Evolution cards gain 1 memory. So if we combo this off with Nokia, Nokia makes us a free Greymon play on top of our many of Agumon. So we'll never not have this go off. And while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, gains 2000 DP, allowing us to gain that 2000 DP for our War Greymon. So it can sucker punch right through that security without even batting an eye. Then you have Monocoromon. So he's a 1-cost evolution blocker. We're only using him because he is a 1-cost evolve. Especially going first, you want to give your opponent 1. And then going second, you want to Digivolve on top of our Greymons. Next, Greymon with the security check. Why else would we not be playing this? Extra security checks mean we're clearing out damage. Then we do have Metal Greymon, so security +2. We're not really caring about this, and we're not attacking. When attacking, we don't care about that, but we care about this. When the Digimon, when it's your turn, this Digimon gives plus 3000 DP, making our little ultimate here our Metal Greymon Alteris mode. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has a Digi-Evolution card with Metal Greymon in its name, delete one of our opponent's 4000 or less DP. We don't really care about that. He's an 8k. So if we have a Greymon underneath him, and then this Metal Greymon is underneath him, and we have this Agumon over here. So 2000, that makes him a 13k ultimate with 2 security checks. Really powerful and very devastating. So while this Digimon has Greymon or Omnion in its name, it gets plus 2000. It can boost our War Greymon even further, which really does help out. And then we do have Metal Greymon. So while this Digimon, when this Digimon is blocked, gain 3 memory. So we don't mind them blocking our turn, especially if we're using this War Greymon here. They're going to optimally want to block. So if you feel like they have a bunch of blockers, Digivolve into this Metal Greymon first, and then swing in, gain that 3 extra memory, and punish them further, just so that you can just go like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. When Digivolving, this Digimon gains security +1, and for the turn, this Digimon doesn't activate security skills on options cards it checks, so being able to clear out options very easily is nice. Then we have Blitz Greymon with the ability of Pierce. So if we can de-Digivolve their big guy down to, we can definitely swing into it, remove it off the board. Just really nice to be able to remove big threats and deal damage. Next, we do have Bonds of Bravery. When attacking, as I mentioned before, you have a Tamer. Opponent has 13,000 or less DP once per turn. When your opponent's Digimon are deleted, trash one of your opponent's top of their security stack. This is crazy. It's like a little Don Devi in its own right. Then we have Omnimon Alteris here, so it triggers the Digi-Evolution on all your opponent's Digimon. Since we are heading into a very warp-heavy meta, being able to de-Digivolve their Digimon, and if they become a level 3, basically we're going to be deleting all their 5,000 or less DP, which is really nice. And then when attacking, you may return a level 6 Digimon to make it unblockable for the turn, and getting that lethal strike. That is really the main aspect of this. So let's go over some decent option cards you can definitely play. So you could definitely play this Agumon here. While this Digimon has Greymon in its name, gain plus 2000, just to help get there. We could definitely play Guillemon that warps up. So while your Digimon has a level 6 or higher Digimon, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a Gallantmon by hand for a Digi-Evolution cost of 4, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirements. Not a terrible game plan. Then you could definitely play the Agunimon. You could even play Ancient Greymon. I forgot to put that in here, so sorry about that. Definitely play Ancient Greymon if you feel comfortable enough. It's a really powerful card. Then we do have Greymon. So when this Digimon has an Agumon Digi-Evolution card, it gains security +1. So if you want to be cheeky and clear out a couple securities early, definitely try the Greymon route. Definitely gives it up to 7,000. Is really nice. Next, we do have Geo Greymon. Being Geo, at the end of the battle, play this card without paying its memory cost. So being able to reveal it in security to blow up one of your opponent's 4,000 or less DP. Really nice, but I feel like it's not as good as everyone says it is. Next, definitely play some Groundramon if you feel like you're lacking in the ultimate department. Next, you have Metal Greymon, so get +3 memory at the end of turn. You -3 memory, so you give your opponent an extra memory at the end phase, which is fine if you go to, if you're not trying to give them like 5 or 6. So, I mean, if you can give them 1, then your end phase triggers. You give them 4, not a bad trade-off. 4 is not a bad thing. If you give them anything more than that, that was not worth it. Gallantmon, just to help out clear security. Victory Greymon's definitely a decent one. It especially counts into the evolution stack. When Digivolving, Digiburst 2, delete one of your opponent's 8,000 or less. Delete an ultimate, basically. Gallantmon's in here to clear out security, plus when deleting one of your opponent's Digimon, you can either gain power or delete a 4,000, which not many people play 4,000s. Then we have Shine Greymon. This basically could be the alternative route you want to go. You could go into the Shine Greymon here instead of using this dedicated plan route with Security War Greymon. You could definitely go into the Shine Greymon here that checks the security and has Pierce, so it just guarantees more damage output. It's just a very powerful skill. Then you have Omnimon Blitz. If you feel like you just want to outpace them and you don't care about de-digivolving big guys, especially warpers, then you can just go for Omnimon for game. Not a bad plan. Dedicated plan is one of your Digimon gains activates any security does not activate with them. Options do not activate, so it's not bad. Then you have Gaia Force blowing up everything. Lightning Joust, if you feel like you need some extra oomph in your swings, this can definitely help if you have fewer security than your opponent, which is very probable when you are playing Bonds of Courage. So being able to give it extra power and a security check is not bad. Then you have Atomic Blaster as a great option. It's a great 5 cost, delete multiple Digimon at times, and that really does help out. And then you could definitely play Marcus. Marcus is a definitely solid card. When one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name attacks, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. Just really all around great power. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!